Hello everyone, Weather Jamaica here. Welcome to this updated video on weather across Jamaica and the Caribbean. It is Saturday evening, May 27, 2023. Now before we jump into it, please ensure that you guys like the video, share it, subscribe and tap the notification bell so that you'll be notified every time I post a brand new video. Feel free to leave a comment down in the comment section letting me know though there's been like your ear recently. Also, feel free to ask any weather related question that you might have about the future of the weather in your specific area. I respond to all comments and I really live for this stuff. Alright, so taking a look at the surface map of the Atlantic for this evening, we can see that we have an area of low pressure still affecting portions of the southeastern United States. We can also see that the entire Atlantic basin is still being dominated by that ridge of high pressure that's sending a lot of easterly trade winds across the main development region into the Caribbean. And we can also see that majority of the main development region is still being plagued by multiple tropical waves. Taking a look at the visible satellite images before the sun went down, we can see the clouds associated with that area of low pressure spinning away right there off the southeast coast of the United States, affecting sections of Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, as well as sections of Virginia with some amount of overcast skies and showers. We can also see a lot of clouds right there across the majority of the greater Antilles associated with a trough, affecting the waters to the east and north of Jamaica, not to mention sections of Haiti. We can also see a lot of low-level clouds moving from east to west across the main development region into the Caribbean, all courtesy of that easterly trade wind brought about by that high pressure ridge. And we can also see a lot of clouds stretching all the way from Africa all the way into sections of northern South America, not to mention sections of Trinidad and the Windward Islands associated with those tropical waves. We'll be talking more about the weather across the Caribbean later on. Let's focus our attention on the prediction that was made in yesterday's video about the weather across Jamaica for Saturday. It was stated in yesterday's video that we would have received some rainfall on Friday night into Saturday morning across sections of some eastern parishes in Jamaica, maybe spilling into sections of central parishes. And we would have received some rainfall on Saturday afternoon, especially across northern Jamaica as well. And what ended up happening? A post was made on our Twitter page at 12:40 a.m. That's Friday night into early Saturday morning, midnight. So we saw that we had some amount of rainfall right there across sections of St. Catherine. We saw those greens and yellows that represent moderate to heavy rainfall. And we even had our commenters confirming this rainfall. Bay Cookies and Cream stating just got some drizzle. Cardi D stating yes, great, got some rain. Even on our Facebook page, we had Sade stating really enjoyed the rain. Even on our Instagram page, Portmore Bell stating Greater Portmore getting it with lightning and one thunder. And then Farah Marshall stating heavy showers here in Waterford. Shanbert stating it's pouring rain in Portmore now. And then another post was made on our Twitter page at 2:35 p.m. on Saturday, highlighting a lot of clouds bringing overcast skies, showers and thunderstorms to especially sections of some northern parishes in Jamaica. And we even had some rainfall across sections of western and eastern parishes as well. We know these sparkling white dots represent all of the lightning flashes and the lightning strikes as well. And we even had confirmation for the afternoon rainfall across northern Jamaica. TG Minidal stating rain in the Ryan Park, Spot Valley, Cornwall, Barrett Town, Zion area, Montego Bay. Lightning and thunder heavier than the rain though. It's rotating from light to moderate showers. Very thorough comment. Thank you very much for that one. Then we had another post from the Phoenix Rise one stating yup, it's raining here in Aracabessa, St. Mary with lightning and thunder. Then we had Ravimo stating raining here in northern Trelawney. Kemar stating last night we had it in Central Village, water rain, but today hot with no rain. And that's it for the comments. Alright, so taking a look at the latest infrared satellite images, we can see those sparkling white dots and the showers and thunderstorms right there off to the north coast as well as to the southeast of Jamaica. So we could be getting in on some more rainfall tonight across sections of some southern and eastern parishes in Jamaica. And even taking a look at the Doppler radar images, we can see a lot of rain right there off the east coast of Jamaica. These images are showing the latest time frame. So this is about 6:50 p.m. Jamaica time, close to recording hour, and we see a lot of moderate to heavy rainfall right there off the east coast of Jamaica. Lots of heavy rainfall right there to the far north of Jamaica, going into sections of Cuba. Taking a look at the rain that we got for the past 24 hours from the Caribbean Institute for Meteorology and Hydrology. We indeed have the confirmation of that very heavy rainfall that we had across sections of St. Catherine last night into early this morning. Even although these maps are being more robust than what actually happened, it actually paints a picture that yes, we indeed had some rainfall across sections of some southern parishes, eastern parishes, as well as northern parishes in Jamaica for today. Alright, so taking a look at the temperatures for tonight, we can see that we have 27 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 25 degrees Celsius in Kingston, and as usual, as the night progresses, these temperatures should be getting lower. Taking a look at the temperature forecast for tomorrow, we can see that Jamaica, especially eastern Jamaica, is embedded in some slight yellows that represent at least 1 degree Celsius above average temperatures. We can see that on the key, and we know that the average temperatures for the month of May in Jamaica is about 89 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about the equivalent of 32 degrees Celsius. So considering that both the Euro and the GFS models are showing at least 1 degree Celsius above normal temperatures for eastern, especially eastern Jamaica for tomorrow, we should be receiving anywhere from 32 to 33 degrees Celsius at most. Taking a look at the dry air map, we can still see that majority of the Caribbean, especially Jamaica, is being surrounded by a lot of blues that represent moist air. So we know that dry air is represented by the yellows, then oranges, then reds, and the whites within those reds. So right now, Jamaica is in the clear in terms of the amount of moist air that's around the island. Not to mention, when it comes to the Saharan dust, 2 p.m. on Sunday is great for Jamaica, considering that we don't have any browns that represent Saharan dust. We see all of the browns associated with the Sahara Desert right there on the eastern side of the main development region, as well as sections of Africa. Taking a look at the wave forecast for tomorrow, we can see 12 p.m. on Sunday on both the Euro and the GFS are showing lots of dark blues on the east and south, while light blues on the western side of the island. We know that the light blues represent anywhere from 0 to 0.5 meter wave height, while the dark blues represent up to even 1 meter wave height. So it makes sense that we're going to be seeing more of the 1 meter wave heights across eastern and southern parishes, considering that the winds will be still coming in from the southeast across the island for tomorrow by both the Euro and the GFS, averaging anywhere from, let's say, 10 to 15 knots at most. So any rainfall that we should be having coming in across the island for tonight into tomorrow should be coming in an east or southeasterly fashion, so affecting maybe sections of some southern parishes, some eastern parishes as well. Then in the afternoon, we know what happens in the afternoon hours. We have that buildup of clouds. The daytime heating contributes to some afternoon convection, and we usually have that wherever we have the least amount of winds across the island. So wherever we have those darker shades of blue, especially across sections of some northern parishes and western parishes, that's where we have that buildup of clouds, all that air piling up and formulating thunder clouds or cumulonimbus clouds for the afternoon convection. And then what usually happens is we have that upper level wind shear, and both the Euro and the GFS models are showing that the wind shear is going to be coming in from the southwest tomorrow. So all the way up into the upper levels of the atmosphere, when those clouds become cumulonimbus clouds, they will be blown off towards the northeast. So the upper level support is definitely there, especially for northern Jamaica again for tomorrow. And if we actually take a look at the precipitation forecast for tomorrow, this is actually 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 2 a.m. Jamaica time. We see a lot of rainfall right there off the east and the south coast, right there across sections of St. Thomas, Portland, maybe even spilling into sections of Clarendon, St. Catherine. And we see consensus, we see agreement on both the Euro and the GFS models, even although the Euro is a bit more robust, showing some greens and some yellows in there. But we'll take it as we see it, especially considering that we have agreement on both models. Skipping ahead to about 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is about 5 a.m. Jamaica time, we still see much of the same, especially across southern Jamaica and eastern Jamaica on both the Euro and the GFS. Then skipping ahead to about 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 8 a.m. Jamaica time, we see somewhat of a disagreement on the models. We can clearly see that the Euro is a bit more robust with the intensity and the amount of rainfall. We see that the rainfall is going to be across sections of central and western Jamaica. So we have disagreement. I don't really buy what the Euro is showing. I buy into more of what the GFS is showing. It's showing some dots of rainfall, blues that represent rainfall across sections of some southern and western parishes around 8 a.m. on Sunday, but it makes more sense to see all of that rainfall on the eastern side of Jamaica for tomorrow. So I buy into more of what the GFS is showing. Taking a look at the afternoon hours now, just like what we mentioned about the piling up of air and the daytime heating contributing to afternoon convection, we can see more of the blues and the greens that represent the rainfall across sections of some central and western parishes, especially northern parishes. That is where we see the darkest shades of blues, not to mention the west coast. And we see that on both the Euro and the GFS models. I know that when we have consensus or agreement like this, the chances of it actually happening are much higher. Even if we actually take a look at the accumulated precipitation forecast, we can clearly see that the Euro model is a bit more robust, showing up to 1 inch or more of rainfall with all of these reds, as we can see on the key. The more colorful this map gets, the more rainfall that it is predicting. We know that both the accumulated precipitation forecast maps are showing all the rainfall that's expected from now up until 10 p.m. on Sunday, and we're not saying that we're going to be getting rainfall from now all the way up until then, but when it comes, these are the totals that we're expecting. Up to 1.29 of an inch of rainfall, especially across central Jamaica, is what the Euro model is showing. GFS is making more sense, highlighting more of the rainfall for sections of some northern, western, and eastern parishes in Jamaica. So we shall see exactly what unfolds. Either way, parts of Jamaica are definitely going to be getting in some amount of rainfall for tomorrow. And we're indeed grateful that we're getting all of this rainfall, or we're going to be getting all of this rainfall, considering that we're in our secondary rainy season. The month of May is usually grateful to Jamaica, considering that we always get up to 213 millimeters of rainfall on average. This map is showing all the rainfall that we have been getting for the past years, from 1996 all the way up to 2015, and we see that May is one of those months that does something for Jamaica. Alright, so that's it for the forecast across Jamaica. Let's focus our attention on the rest of the Caribbean. So as stated, we have a lot of clouds coming into sections of northern South America associated with those tropical waves, affecting sections of Suriname, French Guyana, Venezuela, Colombia, Panama, Costa Rica, as well as sections of Haiti getting in on some amount of rainfall. Cuba, Jamaica is going to be getting in on that rainfall tomorrow. And we can also see a lot of clouds swirling away off the southeastern coast of the United States, associated with that area of low pressure that the U.S. National Hurricane Center is monitoring. And taking a look at the Doppler radar images of the northeastern Caribbean for the past 24 hours, we can see that we've been having some amount of rainfall across sections of Puerto Rico, especially central and western Puerto Rico. Some amount of isolated showers coming into sections of eastern Puerto Rico, the British and US Virgin Islands. We also had some scattered passing showers across sections of maybe St. Bart, St. Martin, Anguilla, Antigua and Barbuda, St. Kitts, Guadeloupe, Montserrat, and maybe even sections of Dominica as well. Taking a look at the Barbados radar, we can see some rainfall coming into sections of St. Lucia, maybe some rainfall passing to the south of St. Vincent, maybe some rainfall coming into sections of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, not to mention Grenada. You can also see some amount of scattered rain showers coming into sections of eastern Barbados at this time as well. Taking a look at the wider view of Doppler radar images, we can see some amount of rainfall across sections of Colombia, sections of Guyana, French Guyana and Suriname, just as what we stated, not to mention sections of Cuba. Taking a look at the temperature forecast for tomorrow, we can see below average temperatures across sections of the United States, the Gulf of Mexico, the northeastern Caribbean. So majority of the Leeward Islands should be getting in on some below average temperatures, while we have average temperatures anywhere from the Windward Islands across to the western Caribbean, mixed in with some amount of above normal temperatures. So even sections of the Greater Antilles, Puerto Rico, Hispaniola, Jamaica, eastern Cuba and the Bahamas and Turks and Caicos should be getting in on some amount of above normal temperatures. Taking a look at the Saharan dust forecast, we can see that 2 p.m. on Sunday has majority of the Caribbean in the clear, with all of the dust, as we can see, indicated by all of these browns, associated with the Sahara Desert right there off the eastern sections of the main development region as well as sections of Africa. Taking a look at the wave forecast for tomorrow, you can see that majority of the Caribbean is still receiving 1.5 meter wave height or less, with majority of the Western Caribbean and the Gulf of Mexico receiving 0 to 0.5 meter wave heights the most. And that's due to the fact that the strongest winds will be across those spots. Anywhere from 10 to 15 knots is what is being expected across majority of the eastern to central Caribbean coming in from the east, while majority of the Western Caribbean should be getting less winds. Taking a look at the rainfall forecast by both the Euro and the GFS models, we can see these maps are showing all the rainfall expected from the eastern Caribbean towards the western Caribbean as well as sections of northern and South America. And we see a lot of rainfall, even in reds, up to 1 inch of rainfall being predicted on both the Euro and the GFS models for sections of Cuba, Jamaica, Hispaniola, the Turks and Caicos, sections of Puerto Rico getting in on some rainfall as well. We can see some amount of consensus with the rainfall across sections of maybe Dominica, Guadeloupe, some slight rainfall. But we see a lot of rainfall, even up to 1 inch of rainfall being predicted for sections of maybe Barbados and areas west of there, so St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, Tobago, of course, Trinidad might even get in on some amount of isolated flash flooding. French Guiana, Suriname, Guyana, Venezuela, Colombia getting in on a lot of rainfall. We even see some purples in there that represent even up to 3 inches of rainfall or more across sections of central Colombia. We can also see a lot of rainfall being predicted across sections of Panama, Costa Rica, even some rainfall across sections of Honduras and the border of Nicaragua right there, not to mention the Pacific side of El Salvador, maybe sections of Honduras as well, not to mention Guatemala getting in on some of that, as well as portions of the Yucatan Peninsula, as well as especially northeastern or northern Belize as well. Alright, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching.